What's going on, everybody? Josh Engleman here for Stokastic.com, back again with my NBA DFS contenders for Thursday. I almost said Wednesday. Thursday, November 7th. 3-game slate today. So numbers are going to look a little weirder on the optimal side, but we still got to play this slate out. 3 games, locking at 8. It should be fun. What I need you guys to do is hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell so you know when everything goes live. Follow me on Twitter at Josh Engleman. The other thing I want you guys to do, there's a link in the description of this video. If you click it, you can get the Sims at Stokastic for a month for free, as long as you sign up through one of our affiliates, whether on the sportsbook side or on the pick'em side. There'll be some sort of deposit bonus or bonus bets. You'll get something from wherever you're signing up. Follow the instructions at the top of the site, and you'll be able to get 1 month of whichever sport you're looking for. I assume if you're watching this video, it would be the NBA. When you send in the email to our support staff, just let them know you want the NBA. That's the easiest way to do it. But if you're looking for a free month of Sims, you want to test out what we've got, it's very simple. Click that link in the description. Donte George is on the outside looking in. Who will be my favorites? My top 5 plays for today? It's time to find out. First up at number 5, I have Gary Trent Jr., which doesn't make me excited because this dude can't buy a bucket to start this season. However, got him in for 30 minutes, 22.5% optimal. Shooting guard, small forward. Amazing position setup for today. On a 3-gamer, you need a little bit of extra flexibility. He's only $4,700. That price is very manageable. He's not going to do a lot. You need him to start making shots because that's really the only way that Gary Trent acquires fantasy points. 13 points, 3 boards, an assist and a half, and a steal. It's not a lot, but value is going to be hard to find. And spoiler alert for the rest of this video, paying up for one of his teammates is a big time priority to me. So as I'm looking at Gary Trent, it hasn't been great so far, but a matchup against Utah might just make him break out of this slump. At number 4, I've got Stephon Castle. The Spurs are taking on Portland. He's 23% optimal. I went 27 minutes. Now, that might be a little light. In a competitive matchup, it wouldn't surprise me if he played north of 30, but I think his spot in a closing lineup is up for debate right now. He's also shooting guard, small forward, just like Gary Trent. Matchup against Portland is always going to be good. That team is bad across the board. Although I like Denny Avdia, but that's neither here nor there. 4,400, love the price. 10 points, 4 boards, 2.5 assists, a little over a stock. And it's possible I have him a hair under projected defensively. This dude, legit on defense. Offensively, it's going to be a couple years before you think he's worth a shit. But defensively, I'm interested if he can get some steals and get some blocks. But from a value perspective on a 3-gamer, especially in a matchup against Portland, now that Stephon Castle is likely going to be in the starting lineup for a bit with Jeremy Sohan out with the broken thumb, Castle's going to be a really nice value. At number 3, we're going to Minnesota and grabbing Donte DiVincenzo, 26.5% optimal. Minnesota is taking on Chicago. Bulls are on a back-to-back, not a very good defense. DiVincenzo, point guard, shooting guard eligible, 4,900. So another sub 5K value option. 13 points, 3.5 boards, close to 2.5 assists, a stock and a half. He hasn't been able to buy a bucket so far, taking a couple less 2s per game. But we're talking about one of the better 3-point shooters in the league. Gets up a ton. A lot of volume. He's going to be in and around that average 3-point rate, but at that volume, that's incredibly valuable. He hasn't been there so far this year. I think he's shooting like 30% from 3. You expect that to climb a little bit. The one interesting part about Donte DiVincenzo so far for Minnesota, handling the ball a lot more. Assist rate has taken a pretty massive bump from what you would expect for DiVincenzo so far this season. I'd like to keep an eye on that, but if he's going to have a little bit of a bump to assist rate, that's going to help him out when that shot starts to fall. But again, an MPE sub 5K, this is the kind of value we're looking for on a 3-game slate. It's not sub 5K, but it's 5K on the dot. Julian Champagnie, 31% optimal. Back to that matchup against Portland. He's playing huge minutes. He's starting, he's closing. He's not a really good per minute dude. That is a bit of a problem, but not that big of a problem. As I'm looking at someone like Champagnie, shooting guard, small forward eligibility, 5K on the dot, best position you can possibly get. 12 points, 5 boards, 2 assists, just shy of 2 stocks. It's not going to be fun. We're talking about a guy that's probably in that like 0.75 to 0.8 fantasy point per minute range. But playing time on a 3-game slate is massive. He might not be the best performer, but you also need a little bit less out of Champagnie than you do for some other guys because of that positional flexibility. So I'm going to continue to get to him as long as he maintains his spot in the starting lineup, and the Spurs don't really have anybody else on the team that can threaten it. Now, we haven't talked about too many good plays so far, like guys I like. Giannis is very different. Number 1 with a bullet today, but also questionable. Missed the last game, so we need to pay attention to that one. I have him 47% optimal, which is like 20% more than anybody else here. He's going to play 36 minutes if he's in. It's the Utah Jazz. They are one of the worst defenses in the league and very clearly don't have anybody that's going to be slowing down Giannis Antetokounmpo. Power forward center eligibility, so quality flexibility if you need it. 11-1 is a big price tag, but we just mentioned a bunch of sub 5K guys. Make it a lot easier to get to Giannis. I've got him at 31 points, 12.8 boards, 7 assists, and 2 stocks. Defensively, he is definitely taken a step back over the past few years. Doesn't really concern me here. He's going to carve through Utah if he's able to play. Certainly a triple-double threat on a day like today. If he doesn't get a double-double, something bad happened for Milwaukee, or Giannis scored 70 real points. I don't see how you can want to go to anybody else. Not only is he just the best pay-up on today's slate, he's so clearly the best overall play. I don't really think you can make a case for anybody else. The crazy part of this slate will be if Giannis gets ruled out, because then we're taking a guy that I have in close to 50-50 for optimal lineups, and we just remove him from everything. This entire slate is completely different if Giannis isn't in, because we're using all this value to get all the way up to 11K. If we can't get there, the only guy that's even in sniffing distance of Giannis is Victor Wembanyama. Everything looks different. But if he's in, there is no doubt in my mind that Giannis is your number 1 play. Alrighty, folks, that will do it. Those are my NBA DFS contenders on DraftKings for Thursday, November 7th. If you're looking for the same sort of content on FanDuel, I don't do a video, but I post my top 10s to Twitter every day, including the top 10 for DraftKings. So you get a couple extra names. And I'll be posting updates later today before I go live on the deeper dive at 5:30 p.m. Eastern time today. So somewhere in that 4:30 to 5:30 window, you will get an update of both top 10s. Can't beat it. Try to sign up at Stokastic using the link in the description. If you're not at one of those sportsbooks or pick'em sites, you can get yourself a free month of our NBA Sims. Friday tomorrow, huge slate. Gonna look way different than this one does. Can't wait to break it down.